Hi all, welcome back. Today, or tonight I should say, because this is my second video today, I'm going to be going through the speed analyst of Dreamflyer, Steph Curry and terms of engagement. Just three different horses, so hopefully you guys will get a better understanding of how this works, and hopefully I actually get it right, because it still confuses the hell out of me a little bit. What I'm going to do first as well is I'm just going to, if you go open up another Know Your Horses page, you come down to resources here and go general speed statistics, and what this does is this gives you the speed statistics on average of every horse that's run. So as you can see, the race count here is really high. We've got the medium race, and we've got like the top 25% of finishing at this time, and the bottom 75% I think finish that time, in the medium times this. And standard deviation is, I think if it's over 2, you're more likely to be a U horse, but then that doesn't make much sense here, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Anyway, we can go into that further down the road. Anyway, so we've got Dreamflyer here, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on, open this in a new tab, speed statistics, and then click on speed analyst. And what we'll do is we'll go through the speed analyst first, and then we'll have a look at the speed statistics and compare it to the rest of the field, or all of the general horse population. So when you're reading this, what you have to remember is this is the percentage of races, so this is where you finish in the race percentage wise, and this is the time. So as you can see here, it says the teal line represents the general set population speed, and the black line represents Dreamflyer. So when you go here on your horse, the teal line is always the general population, and the black line's you. So what you're looking for is, on the left hand side of these graphs, you want to be finishing a percentage in front of the general population, and then you know you've got a better than average horse at that distance. If this line is below, so if I go to say a different distance for Dreamflyer, just while it refreshes, so you can see here 1800, the general population is finishing in front of Dreamflyer down here, and same for like 22, the general population here is just in front, and 24 in front quite often. So that's how you kind of read it. So if we go back to 1000 and 1200, which is where, and 1400 it seems to be, where Dreamflyer is the best. So it's got a good number of races, 67 and 109. So you can see that percentage wise between there and there is what, a couple of percent, 2-3% maybe. So 2 or 3% of the time I'm going to be finishing in front of the general population, and then we come up to the peak. So our peaks are pretty similar. So 30% of the time I'm going to be running at 57 seconds, and then it comes down, and 20% of the time I'm going to be running this speed, and 10% of the time I'm going to be running that speed. So here the general population is actually a little bit in front of me, but if we look at 1200, it's very similar as well. Actually, I'm in front here, but then I kind of go a little bit haywire here and get a little bit slower, because the general population is finishing at 75 seconds 20% of the time, and I'm finishing at 75 seconds, slightly less. There's not much in it. It's almost a pretty average horse, isn't it? But what you can do is, as well, to check this, is if you go to the speed statistics, what we can do is, this is Dreamflyer, so it will say here the table of contents times for every race ever Dreamflyer has run. So we know that 1200 and 1000 was good. So what we can do is we can look at the average time. So the average time for Dreamflyer is 57.5. So now we go back to the general population, the average time for the field is 57.71, which we just kind of worked out that average I'm slightly in front of the general population. But what you can also look at is on the all horses, you can look at this. So all horses, if you're running less than 57.24, means you're in the top 25%. So obviously Dreamflyer's not running that. So I'm not in the top 25% of basically fields. Now here obviously this is saying that I'm running that 25% of the time and that 75% of the time, but this is my medium, which should match that, but it doesn't, so I'm not quite understanding that, but that's how I read it and see it. So if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, and then I'll edit the video or delete it and do it again, but I'm pretty sure that that's correct. So there might be reasons why that don't match, not quite sure. Anyway, so if we go and look at other horses, so for example, this is Steph Curry, I believe. Yeah, Steph Curry there. So you look at Steph Curry, which we all know is a really good U horse. We just go to overview. You'll see pretty much can't get much more perfect U than this, can you? If you look at their speed analyst, when it loads, so Steph Curry's best at 2.2 and 2.4. You can see here Steph Curry's finishing in front of the field quite a big percentage, you know, like 2.5%, 3%, maybe a bit more, but like, you know, this is the thing. And then this is the times, you know, sort of quite a low percentage hitting the medium time, and then quite a high percentage here. So, you know, the teal line is finishing at this time in front of Steph Curry, so that's why you're getting the U shape. So it's, you know, you got a big gap here, a little gap here, so it kind of comes into a U shape with the oval down here as well. And it's the same for 2.4. You know, you've got Steph Curry's finishing, you know, like 2.5% here, up to 3%, up to 5%, and then here finishing at these times at 10%, and then finishing at these times down here at, you know, like between, what's that, like 7 down to 5%. So you can see here the field finishes at 148, about, I think 148 is that line, so they're finishing at 148 5% of the time, where Steph Curry's finishing at 148 like 7% of the time, and that's why it's a U-shaped horse, because of the way it runs there. And the final one to look at is terms of engagement, which you can see from here is just basically just a winning machine. So when you look at terms of engagement, those you'll see 1,000 meters in front, 1,200 really in front. You know, the average is finishing here. Yeah, miles in front average times. In here, you know, 1,800 well in front, 2,000 well in front, 2.2 way in front. You know, the average is like, you know, what's the average there? Like 130 something, and you know, it's 2 seconds in front on average than the field. But look, it finishes, this gap here is massive. You know, you're talking what, 5-10%? Yeah, 10% there. So 10% of the time it's finishing quicker than the average field at that time. It's just a crazy horse, but it's, you know, one of the top 5 horses, best horses in the game. And again, so just a quick overview. When you're doing this, just take your time. Obviously, look at the speed statistics and make sure you've got the speed statistics up for the general population as well. So, for example, if we look at terms of engagement and go to speed statistics in here, let's just look at 2.2. I think was you can tell by the numbers that it's run at. So 2.2 is the best distance. So on average, running at 130.55. So on average, 130.55 is in the top 25%. So on average, terms of engagement is running faster than this time, and that's on average. You've got to remember, at best, 122. So hence why it's in the top 5. But and that's kind of how it works. And the standard deviation, from what I understand, is if you're up 2 and above, it's more, you've got a better chance of becoming first and last. It is what it means. I think if you're 3 and above, you're pretty much guaranteed a U horse. So if we go and look at Steph Curry, actually, just to confirm that, because that'd be a good horse to have a look at. Yeah, so you can see here, like Steph Curry at 2-4, we kind of discovered just a minute ago looking that it always finished first or last, and you can kind of tell there. And the races actually that she's running in kind of says, running more at this distance, and we saw the perfect U shape. So yeah, so this standard deviation, as long as you're above 2, you kind of know that you've got potential to be a U-shaped horse, which is really good. But like, look at that, Steph Curry's just a beast, like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And in terms of engagement, is just there at 2 distances, say 3 maybe just, but not there. So you can see how much of a versatile horse Steph Curry is. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.